They will give you always the best rate.
They connect to Binance, HitBTC, LMAX, and Kraken.
What I like about SwissBorg is that they have an amazing app.
Pow Wow, yo yippee, yay guys, Pow number 49. One of the last one of the year. And as always, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg. Always here to serve you. And today, we are going to deep dive into the love of the community. And I'm sorry about that sound. Talk about what's happening on the markets. Then dive into something that is something really important. It's Metaverse. Talking about Metaverse with our co-founder, Anthony, and myself. We're really going to talk about what is Metaverse? How does Metaverse play a good role or a bad role in the society? Why is Metaverse happening? And then the idea is then to go cover a little bit more episodes with that. We just had a talk today with Anthony and we want to make it very short. It ends up it's more than an hour because we're too passionate. So we'll probably do this in different sequels. So hopefully you're going to enjoy it and you're going to make sure that our green laser eyes are not only happening on Twitter, but hopefully one day it'll happen into the Metaverse. So question of the week, guys. Damage on trading. What will happen to the actual GP? Will they lose their actual privileges or will they upgrade to new tiers? Great question. And we just finished a workshop and we're saying, okay, we're going to cut the Genesis Premium. People are going to get, obviously, the NFTs because this is long promised. And then more importantly, what are going to be the new premium tiers, right? So the people who have Genesis Premium will be staking 50,000 CHSB, will always have the best Genesis Premium offer. And I mean, this pretty much the same thing as today. And we'll be adding more features and more features. Now, what is the idea is to... Obviously, the community premium is here. It's a very successful one. We're having up to 500 people every week that are adding to this. I think this is really great for the ecosystem. Yield 2.0 is just helping people to reach that level. So we don't need anything at that level. What do we need is potentially something that we've talked in the past is that how can we bring in the next 10 million people into SwissBorg app? Maybe obviously the community premium is probably the best, but looking at the higher tier for people that are maybe older, people that have just more money but need some guidance, we're thinking about maybe a higher tier. So the higher tier wouldn't be as good as the Genesis Premium, to be honest, in terms of yield and in terms probably of maybe yield, I don't know, we're not too sure there, but at least in terms of pricing, they won't be as good because we won't have like the possibility to get free trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, CHSB, and fiat as you guys have today. But most probably we'll be launching something that has maybe like 50 basis points for pricing. And though having a more white glove service, which is really onboarding, helping people, from the KYC2 to KYC3, bringing them on board, maybe helping them, teaching them, giving them some lessons, maybe giving them some tips how to trade and things like that. And really, having that premium service where maybe some people really, really need it. What's your thoughts? What would be that premium? If it's the premium plus, what other service could we offer to them? What would be the tier? Should we keep it at 50,000 or should we increase it to 100,000 CHSB? I know that we obviously want to make that it will probably a fixed dollar term going forward for this one. And like always, I think so. The best way is here to comment and see what you think what you feel about. If you guys want to join our wonderful SwissBorg team, there's a lot of great jobs always happening. Metaverse Product Manager, it's a good time to talk about that one because we're going to talk right now about what's happening into the Metaverse. No, we're not. Sorry about this. We're actually going to do it right after. News of the week, what is happening into these markets? So first, Binance and Singapore drops crypto license and plans to the city stake. So that's something weird that why they're flying away from Asia. Maybe to go into Dubai or France or Norway, who knows that. Bitcoin miners have totally recovered from the Chinese ban. Obviously, a lot of Chinese are moving away into Canada and the States and all of that. WhatsApp trials and app cryptocurrency payment using Meta-owned Novi wallet. So that is quite huge. That is actually massive news, guys. So we know that for multiple reasons, it's been very hard for Facebook to get into crypto. They attempted multiple times and it failed. And long story short, now it looks like they are going to try this, the Novi wallets, which was back then Libra or another name, whatever it was. So let's see how this is it. Australia, quite a big, massive wake up. They're really going through different licenses. Back then, it was pretty open of everything, and now they're trying to license it in a good way. But I'm pretty sure that this is going to actually help crypto mass adoption, obviously, as regulators are here to protect people's assets. So what's happening on the markets? Looks like there are some Bitcoin consolidation. Are we waiting for the last 2-3 weeks of crazy boom or not? I think so. The ETF will probably be one of the cause of driving Bitcoin back to up to 68,000 or more than that. But it doesn't look like we're looking for a very good Christmas, unfortunately. Pretty similar to what's happening on Ethereum. There's obviously a little bit, I would say, a better momentum there, but unfortunately, we still believe that this last 2 weeks haven't shown any great good signs. On the opposite, which is really good, some people are calling on stable coins. What I do like is that in terms of recession, bearish markets, CHSB does very well for that. The reason is that even the market is tanking is actually, if you compare CHSB towards Bitcoin in the last 3 weeks, it's probably one of the best performing actually token. The fact that Yield 2.0 is coming in, people are always adding to buy some CHSB to get to premium, and obviously the buyback program, sorry, and we still haven't touched any way to the protect and burn, which really shows again that fundamentally it's always very important to look in projects that have a really solid background. Maybe on the short run, you might see like a lot of things booming, going crazy, but things go back to the mean. So I'm very happy to say that CHSB is strong and is really getting very stable, even when market's a bit shaky. Guys, want to let you know as well, the last chance for the 2x rewards. So please make sure to refer your friend and to make sure that you could absolutely, potentially, actually win even 2,000 CHSB, which is actually quite crazy. As you guys know, there is UOS. You guys have voted for it, and we have now put it into the app. This is how we believe in decentralization, that you guys, you are the most important thing we have. It's our lovely green heart with that lovely community that you guys are. And I really wanted, for that, we wanted to have like a nice airdrop to, you could earn up to 750 UOS tokens for the 5 lucky winners who take the following steps. Follow both Ultra.io, as you can see it here, and SwissBorg obviously too. Create accounts on Ultra, like and retweet this post about the competition, and you might be earning it. I think so. Something's very important, guys. Blockchain is not only about investing, it's about using. So please make sure to use Ultra. I strongly believe that this is a great project that could really help to bring a lot of gaming, Metaverse into blockchain, and they're definitely very, very smart at they're playing it. Now let's talk about Metaverse. So yeah, Anthony, do you like Metaverse first? Do you believe in Metaverse?
That's a very good question. Maybe we should as well define what is the metaverse. I guess we're still trying to figure out what does it mean, right? And I guess we, link to our past and as well experiences. We might have a definition that is our own. And I think it's something extremely new, which is most probably comparable to what mobile has done to the internet, or the way we browse information, or maybe even internet has done to, books or mail and all these things. So I guess the way I would try to define metaverse, it is an augmented, let's say, experience to information. Right now, if I want to access information, or if I want to connect to people, to exchange information as we are doing now, most of the experience will be on the 2-dimension manner that will be delivered on 2D, right? And when I get the chance to connect with you in the real world, if we can think, like, I can touch you, I can experience smell, I can experience visual. So not only with my ears, but with all of my senses, I can get a part of the information. So I think when we then connect to the virtual world, until now, most of the experience has been done on screen, computer. So it's, in a sense, very limited experience.
Right.
To enhance this experience, to involve more sensors, more human sensors, to the way we experience things, right? And for now, it's very centered on entertainment, I guess, because it feels natural in a sense that the metaverse, most probably the first experience we have of the metaverse is with games, but games always been play a persona. So I'm not involved myself, right? I have a persona and I play with this persona in the video games. And when you get really into it, especially when you're a teenager, sometimes you lost yourself into the persona. And you feel like, oh, I'm this guy. But I guess the promise of the metaverse is I can get you as a physical person. I can duplicate a sensation with getting you involved into a bunch of information. It starts with video games, but I guess it would extend to so many other topics, maybe even investment.
Right.
Maybe.
Like I remember, as a kid growing up, obviously connected to Atari, Nintendo, then all these different Sony and PlayStation and Xboxes, but PC in the meanwhile, and Amstrad and all these different old school consoles. There was SimCity, which was one, and then there was Second Life. I think so. Second Life was really the one which was very awkward. I was a bit older then, but I remember the thing of Second Life, which I believe which was very strong, was that it gave the hope to say that you had a second chance in life. And I think so that's a huge premises from what it is. So I loved my first life. So I was like, I don't need a second life, okay? I was bowling back then, break dancing, I was really enjoying my life. So I was not so connected to it. But I remember extremely well, some people I was taking the buses to go to high school. And they didn't have, their social character was not really well played. Some of them were very introverted, all of that. And the Second Life was their second opportunity to get into something that they would be able to, glow in a very social matter, right? And I think so that has been, for me, one of the reasons why I always said that Metaverse is going to be huge. I think so this is something that we it's hard to say one is going to be huge. For you, what are the social reasons or economical reasons that really think that, Metaverse is going to be here?
I truly resonate with what you just say. I think, first of all, when you look at the society in the real verse, or the society as we know it, in the reality of today, a lot of, let's say, promise on which the society is built has fallen down dramatically in the past maybe 20 years. And the first one is the family model. For a long period of time, especially after war, the goal is the society is going to provide you with a job, honest job. You can buy your house and you can raise your family. And most of the people dislike their job, I think so, or maybe they do not enjoy their job as much as they wish they will. But at least there was this hope that I'm working, I'm going to provide to my family, I'm going to raise kids and accept my condition because of this dream.
Maybe, and even more if like here in Switzerland or you right now in Dubai, well, it is actually those are extremely different from one to the other. But maybe, their cases is not as big. But if you're born in somewhere in Pakistan, or if you're born in any emerging market, right, that doesn't have like a real good economical basis or political, social, probably that it has even a stronger emphasis, right?
Exactly, and I think Dubai is a very good example. If you look at Dubai, beside that there is more and more people of the technology, different tech and startup world that is coming here, the main activity is construction. And construction most of the time is done by people from Pakistan, India, and all over the country or the border of UAE. And guess what they do when they receive their paycheck? First thing that they do, they send back money. Yeah, they send back money to the family because they've been raised with this mindset: I need to provide for my family, and they're not happy with their job. Obviously, it's very difficult work condition. Construction jobs are very tricky when you raise buildings in a very hot weather, but the acceptation comes from this model. They've been raised to provide to family, and it's working this way. And actually most of the country in the sphere of UAE is working on this model. It's construction is the main driver of the economy, and it's only possible because this family model still sustains. But my belief is, even in countries where religion is quite important, and then as a consequence, family remain very important, I do believe in the new generation is not going to be as strong as it is now. What does it mean?
True.
Yeah. So what does it mean as a consequence is the people that currently provide the base layer for this society to function, which is construction, which a bunch of even military, they will not accept in the very near future to do this job, right? So the only option we have as society to keep going is to invent technology. So 3D printers, for example, to build buildings directly with technology, right?
And just to back this idea, sorry, we're going to a new sphere. Axie Infinity is not yet Metaverse, let's put it that way. But to really strengthen what you just said, I'm going to share just some stats, okay? So these are stats, and I had the chance to talk to Axie Infinity's wonderful CEO, very super sharp guy. And what I like about what you just said is, look at this. Philippines is a nation where their biggest economical inputs is receiving money from foreigners. So people like our maids that live in Dubai, they send their money back to their family in Philippines. But what are their kids doing? They know that the economic case of Philippines is really hard. It's a very hard country to develop. There's a lot of different issues, political issues, instability, local currency stability, economical instability. And on top of all of that, there's a lot of typhoons and as well nature things going on. Look at here. So 35 million people are playing pretty much Axie Infinity. Among that, 35% of those people are actually Filipinos. So that means there's more than 10 million Filipinos that are playing Axie Infinity. And why are they playing? Because they're making money out there. Same to Argentina, same to Venezuela. Brazil, a little bit different. But we see that those countries rather will be connected to computers in order to play and earn than actually trying to find a job that just doesn't make sense for them, right?
SwissBorg app chart of the week. I think so, which is really great is to see that in November, total new verified users actually 30,000. So it's all-time high in the last 6 months. It's been a really good month of November. Really proud about this. And I think so a lot of facts as well because, you know, we're doing a lot of efforts. You probably saw all the campaigns happening in Switzerland, and there's getting more and more and more cool ones. Overall growth, 40% November over October. French-speaking community, obviously 77%. So it really shows that each time we bring a new language, it really does happily convert people to download and work and make deposits on the app and use it. So we see here as well a very nice a weekly chart which shows how the Swiss verified users compared to the total. And we really see that recently there's a massive big pickup. Is that fact to all the campaign we've done? Most probably. So merci pour toute la Suisse. And hopefully we'll have a Swiss-German campaign very soon. So that'll be really cool. Maybe one day we'll have one in Italian and Romanche. That'll be actually really funny. Yield wallets pretty much stable. We got some little bit loss from Ether recently, unfortunately, because for whatever reason the yield's maybe not high enough. But overall, the rest are quite stagnant, a little slow growth. Over $1 billion still in DeFi, which I think is beautiful when you think about it. Weekly CHSB data. So a little bit shy from the 500, 450 we have per week, only 390, but still good enough. Now the circulating supply brings us, it's quite crazy, up to 80% is locked into these different yield programs and a premium and yield program, pretty much stable from last week. 1.4 billion into the protect and burn, and holders in the app a little bit over 121,000. Which brings us to the community index. We didn't do a great weight, unfortunately, guys. Not as excited. 7.6. However, I think so things are still really well. Mainly crypto challenge not doing too good. The rest is pretty much constant, but not as good as last week. But I'm sure we'll do better and the Fed's doing really great really gathering the yielding place, as you guys probably all know. Guys, I'm going to do a really quick one. I hope you enjoyed Anthony and myself talking about Metaverse. Obviously, the next one will have a lot more on the Metaverse. Again, talking about how this could play an important role at SwissBorg. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please let us know what you think. And please think about the premium. The next following premium, what it should be, what should be the name of it, what should be the features. Please, let's brainstorm here, babies. Looking forward to the next one. As you guys know, be healthy, be wealthy, and love our CHSB. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you zero fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.